We're along the Japolo River, one of my main research spots this morning. Searching for the cabbage man, the skunk ape, the wood booger. This terrain is really thick and the weather is ultra chilly, so it is a perfect day for the skunk ape to be roaming. That thicket is really tough on my gear, so I have to make sure to tie my shoes tight. Make sure to keep my head on a swivel. It's a dream come true, getting to explore these Florida swamps in the middle of the winter when the sun is still shining. Keeping my eyes peeled for serpents on the ground, and even some kind of bear traps or bobcat snares. Gotta go up and over. To get through. Oh. We have to harness the energy of the fungus. And crawl through. We're out here in skunk ape territory, the panhandle of Florida, nearby a lot of caverns, stories of cabbage men, iron bridge trolls, and also some creatures that look similar to the ones out of The Descent. Many tree structures in this area, and we've also photographed and videotaped dozens of footprints right in this region. We've been lucky enough to cast a couple. Seems there's a storm brewing, so I'm gonna keep a pep in my step, but my eyes peeled for more bear footprints, but also some hair along the barbed wire fence. I have some gloves in my bag and some casting supplies in case we strike gold. Today's been a magical day already. Did a show with the Gypsy Road podcast and also the Chad Smith podcast. There's a ton of strange structures past this fence. I'm starting to think it's all mapped out very, very seriously. We did see a blanket in one of the caverns, so there is possibility that there's homeless people dwelling in these underground labyrinths. That's when it starts to get interesting, and is the feral people joining clans with Sasquatch willingly, or maybe under mind control, or just straight up powerful takeover. Something right there. It sounded like it got into its burrow pretty quick. The fence is all disturbed right here. There seems to be a little bit of indentation and a game trail leading right to it, right by an arch as well. Would be a perfect place to find some hair. The air around me, the atmosphere is electric. You could feel that a front is moving in. It's really cool to keep your eyes on all the tracks. Many dog tracks out here, but occasionally you'll find a panther or a bobcat trail. I'm keeping my ears open because the sign of something big is definitely looming nearby. I don't mind sneezing in the forest one bit because it's so freeing and it's a natural Bigfoot call. Burps, farts, coughs, laughs, they're all very curious. There have been stories of little people as well in this region. My friend Tristan and Cameron their young cousin was chased by a six-legged insectoid that was very passive. He just wanted to play. They also have a house elf that has burrowed holes underneath their bed. They've caught glimpses of it before. Another good friend of mine, the Duck Dynasty guy, he has a giant beard. Well, I said he would fit into Duck Dynasty. He lived on a property with a mound. X marks the spot. A lot going on right there. But my Duck Dynasty friend lived on a property with a mound, and he burrowed into it one time and found a green humanoid creature that just ran away from him. So when we're out here in these strange swamps, we're looking for a lot of strange things. This seems to be a meeting area, a dwelling. It's very interesting. Into both sides, it seems. The stick laying right there is very suspicious. But what a perfect covering right here. It's interesting how the bark is chipped away from right there. And there's definitely caves throughout this area. So there's a good chance a lot of these trails lead into the unknown. But we have a plan today. We're looking for ancient artifacts, old relics, and any sign of cryptid creatures. And I feel like there's already been a bunch of tree language and forest symbols that are speaking to me. My senses are aware of them, but my body picks up much more on multiple other levels. Another awesome little pathway beneath some breaks. It looks like there's a whole gateway. Strange things. And I just saw a dark green thing about 20 feet up. I don't know what it was. Seeing a lot of boot tracks on the ground, but no bare footprints. On my past videos, we recorded dozens of them marching in the mud a little bit closer to the river. all this brush over here is super thick, and you can see how malleable it is to create little arches and habitats. You can have a whole Ewok village back there. We are not far from Rocky Creek, where the rod bender roams. Also, Two Egg Stump Jumper. But of course, the most famous stories of this area is Stacy Brown's famous 9-footer footage at Torrey State Park, and the wild man that was captured at Ocheesee Pond. Both are in the same area and not far from here, especially when we're talking about the speed and power and endurance of these cryptid creatures. I've casted a caveman print right in this domain, who also heard a lot of strange sounds. Sometimes you feel like you're being followed. But as long as you walk with that light and positivity, you have a strong barrier. This bridge is awesome. I've walked this railroad for miles during the night, and man, that is taxing and tolling on your body. There's no even steps, so every march is strong effort. There's a bunch of graffiti on it of awesome ghosts, and it truly lives up to its legend. A lot of deer tracks through here. Nice easy access to a crossable creek. There was a homeless little setup here. Glad to see most of it's gone. Hopefully they moved on to better places. Here we are to my favorite spot. To pick up some lost relics. And it's awesome. Finding Coke bottles. What a just magical experience being able to find something that's way older than me. And also collectors go crazy for, but it's more about it lighting up your face. Marianna, Florida, home brewed. Very cool. We can find a bunch of full bottles, rare sizes out here. We're gonna round up as many as we can before the storm rolls in. It sounds like something is in that brush right there. I was gonna leave my backpack on the ground, but that's where my keys are, and if I have to run, I don't want to be separated from my keys. Hope this provides a cool angle. A lot of rocks and stuff in that one. Very cool. That's an awesome bottle. Here's a stick. Clean this out real quick. Looks like there's a bunch of seeds, but might be just rocks. These size ones are my favorite. I gotta clear it out, as it's probably gonna be. Daniel Lundy and I are gonna have to come out here and get all the broken glass. That's a really cool bottle. I'm gonna save that for the end, because it's heavy and I don't want it to weigh my bag down. Love to see it. That is magical right there. Daniel said you can turn that into a cool arrowhead. Can't wait. These are my mom's favorites. Just gotta get that dirt out. Not in the bag either, because that's the whole point, so I don't have to carry that weight. Silly. Here we go. Here's another cool one right here. Wow. That's amazing. Couple cool ones. With the lid still on it. Wow. That's a cool one. Ooh, so they got the liquid in it and everything. Ooh. Heck yeah. Bangs or barks, I'm not sure. That's really cool. Oh yeah. Wow. Broken plates too. Yes. That's really cool. Another unique size right there.
That's really cool. Some film. We'll just throw that in there. I like that blue bottle though. Still filled with liquid. Ooh. Save that one for my mom. I'll be back momentarily to get all the heavy stuff. So there's fair share of the cool ones. That one's got a really cool sparkle to it. Rexall. Perfect size. Good as new. Wow, that's awesome. Another special one. Whole ecosystem in there. Ooh, Lysol. Lysol. Wow. Talk about rare. That's special. Another really cool one. I love that shape. Here's some packs that I made up last time. Really, really cool. I love these blue ones. Bromo seltzer. Emerson drug. Milk of magnesia. Emerson. Really cool shape. Very hard to read, but be able to check it out later. French's. It's French's. Very cool glass right there. More of my mom's favorites right there. I thought this was one of the more unique glass shapes that we found. That's magical. Some more of that porcelain. Ponds. It's ponds. I remember Wynette Turner saying that. She was amazed. Some really cool Bell-Anns. Alright, that one will go in my backpack because it's heavy. The other two I gotta carry. Alright, so I think I can fit a little bit more in this one. That's cool. Another really cool bottle. My favorite, definitely these small ones. Treasure in every direction. Blackout. Some kind of liquor. More film. I love this one with the squirt top. That's a monster. That'll be the last one on that one. Love the shape. I got hit by something sharp. This is a half pint. Wow. Very cool. Ooh. I love the triangular shape to this one. Barks. That's a good one. I'll get that next time. Love it. Love it. That's a good Coca-Cola right there. Thick glass. Ooh, still with the lid. That's really cool. Wow. Worcestershire shape. I love that. Ooh, that one's cracked. Wow. The big bottle collection for next time. I love it. Something's burrowed in those. Always grateful for this place treating us well. Here's a couple more. See if I could fit some small ones. with me this time. Love it. Till next time, we'll be back. Probably tomorrow morning. That's the plan. I know that one is a Listerine. Nice one. Here's another one of my batches. Old 7-Up. Very cool. Like I said, we'll be back. Keeping my eyes peeled for caveman tracks or anything out of the ordinary. RC Cola, strange rims, other glass bottles. Can't wait to return back with some friends, because when we can almost died right there. There's a really cool Coca-Cola thing that I have to get from my mom. So very soon. This is the front pile. There's enough to go around for everybody. I'm gonna get as much as I can. Now that's a cool track. A lot of raccoons that come through here, but there are some big cats as well. And as you can see here, there's feces, really old feces, right next to some shells, which are perfect meal for the Sasquatch. Just got to keep our eyes peeled. And listen for the signs. And when I'm picking up this rare glass, I wonder if they're thankful that I'm cleaning up the forest or mad that I'm taking their toys. The plastic on these bags isn't the best, so I have to re-grip once in a while so it doesn't break. But slow and steady wins the race. Just gotta try to beat the rain. But if not, the camera's waterproof and the woods get weird when the storms brew through. So it's a perfect time to do some research and analyze some data. I'm just a skunk ape researcher from Ohio. Lived out of my car across America. Brought me near the Ocheesee Pond where one was captured. Right across the river from Torrey State Park. I'm in the Garden of Eden, baby. There's caves and cliffs in my side of Florida. But luckily, when I first moved down here to the Sunshine State, I was thrown into the culture with a punk rock musical band out of Lakeland. Circle B Reserve, filled with the dinosaurs. Korean Swamp, filled with the Kong. These birds are fluttering above my head, acting very strange. They're probably wondering why someone's even here. I'm just cleaning up the forest, and collecting relics, one step at a time. Could feel it drizzling now. And the weather's eventful ahead of me. And it's cool seeing the trees sway. The BFRO actually went after one of the cases along the Japolo River. And a world-renowned researcher came out, said there was something to it. There's been lots of fishermen stories and even just railroaders talking about mysterious gray beings. The rod bender is said to be gray and over 10 feet long. Some people said he was kind of like a giant sloth. The hog-nosed bear over in Chipley, Graceville area, that's said to be like an extinct cave bear, like a short-faced bear. Ginormous. Sort of reminds me of a couple of the Mountain Monsters episodes. We're at the bend now, so the straightaway is not too bad. Keeping my eyes peeled where these hogs and buck run. I'm trying to see if anything's tracking them through the mud. Right now I'm just seeing huge coon tracks. But there is a strange smell in the air right when I get near this dang fence. And again, I think it's here for a reason. There's tons of caves to my left, so I'm guessing there's a lot of action to the right that's just not even allowed to the public. I know there's hunters over there, so it's not like it's forever unseen. This one right here, it looks like a boot print, but the variation kind of makes it look like toes. It's interesting. Most likely a boot track, because I haven't seen anything that looks like that along. Love to see the feathers. Heard many stories of them being gifted in areas that they frequent. Can't wait to get home, do some research on these old bottles. Glass Listerine, old 7-Up, original Coca-Cola. It's truly fascinating. Hope all you guys are enjoying the journey today and the lifelong journey. And I'm glad ours have came together so we can bounce ideas off and share stories and experiences. I'm all about elevating the mind, thinking outside the box. I want to know new techniques. What are your dreams? What are your hopes? What are your wildest thoughts in this domain? If you're interested in reading, I released 4 books: Eerie Swamps, Road Trip to Eden, Big Brother Bigfoot, Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner, and Panhandle Pirates. They are all a story about me, but a story about you, a reflection. I'll take this time to see if there's anything that wants to call back to us. Woo! 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 And we know they are very creative on when they call back to us and play mind games. I'm gonna leave this bright orange Gators golf ball right off the trail of this main tree that I did the call. I'm actually gonna put it right here between those 2 sticks. Potential ground glyph. I'm gonna follow this game trail. There seems to be some action through here. I have this keychain of my neighbor, Totoro. He's a furry, fuzzy, giant animal from the forest. Sounds like our big brother. I'm gonna hang him right there, and we will check up on it the next time we are out here. There's a lot of strange glyphs, and I feel like there's large caves and some kind of fortress right through there. So we'll try to bridge and meet them halfway. Follow their game trail out, and they go right through here as well, right under that branch and bend. But it comes at a cost. You get ripped apart by the thorns by design. And when they're still in you, that hurts. I usually take pretty good care of my fingernails and hands, but when you're digging for bottles, you don't give a damn. Oh man, I still have some splinters in my hand. Oh man. No blood, no foul. A little blood, a little game. Let's play. I'm all for it. I just started up a Patreon as well with exclusive content, hours of video that will never be public anywhere else. I was on my way back and saw this. Of course, could just be a mark, but we could be talking about something much bigger than what the Myakka skunk ape stands. We've seen pictures of trolls. We've watched movies about Beowulf versus Grendel, Jack and the Beanstalk, and tons more that just leaves us questioning. But again, when you're finding the Fibonacci spiral and it aligns with the pine cones, the seashell, your mind, the fire, the clouds, the galaxy, and everything in between, that's when it's special. I'm just so grateful to be out here in Florida, being able to research the cabbage man, the rod bender, the skunk ape. We're gonna give 3 claps, see if we can get a response before we head out for the night. There was some howls out there, but it did sound like a bird. We get our answers when we ask in this world. So just open up your mind and good things will happen. X marks the spot. Look for the A's and the T's. It means something. Experiment with tri-field meters, recorders, and back cams. This used to say Happy Halloween, but now it says Feliz Navidad. Wonder if they'll change it when the bunny man is lurking for Easter. But there's definitely been some people that live down there. You gotta be careful at every step. That green slime goo. Definitely has got the Freddy vs. Jason vibes. You can imagine the rare people this area brings. Seeing homeless people crossing by there. When we were filming shots for the Void Cat using these nuke silos, it was very chilling when they kept passing by our expensive equipment, lingering and lurking. St. Nicholas drinking a Coca-Cola has taken over the Grim Reaper. And the Grim Reaper replaced Michael Myers. They have finally shut this completely as people were climbing all the way up to the top. As an Ohioan, you know I love Charlie Brown and Snoopy. But my mom called me Pumpkinhead as a child, as a term of endearment, unlike the demonic creature that Pumpkinhead represents. There's thousands of bats that live in these silos, and you can definitely smell it. This unique graffiti of aliens and strange abnormalities really speaks languages. You can hear the creatures above flying. Hello! Spooky baby Madison Rutherford, very talented artist. Jason Voorhees. Now that is one of my favorite murals here. Truly magical. That catches your eye from a long way. It's a popular Pokemon stop, and that is the logo for it. Some more pumpkin heads that are coming to life. Truly spooky. This is the one they all live in. Covered in guano. That crap. Disgusting. That is stuff you don't want to breathe in for too long, or else you might end up looking like Freddy Krueger. What a magical mural. It really comes to life and speaks to you. It's 3D and a little bit different than Robert Englund. And this one is the famous silo of the Void Cat. My character comes in here looking for a cursed object and finds just that. The Void Cat summons me, takes over my mind, and transcends. You can hear the activity up top, and you can see the disturbance of feathers right here on top of the peanuts. Looks like they've been fighting, battling up top. When the Void Cat is prevalent in decades to come back to the Haven Woods and visit the nuke silos. But be safe, because it just might be your very last adventure. cool shell on the end of this gravel. This would be a perfect wood pile for a skunk ape creature to hide behind, or a gremlin to hide inside. We're in the forbidden forest where there's lots of strange stories. There have been battles fought, wars waged, people lost for days back here. The creatures from the Apalachicola Forest, Tate's Hell, and the Ocheesee Swamp can be here very quickly. This is an interesting little ditch. I'm looking for footprints. And also some artifacts, because things would leak in from the bank right here. I thought that was an arrowhead. I don't think it's been worked, but I'm gonna stick it in my bag anyway. So this goes down in here. You can definitely tell that some game has been through here. It would take an army crawl from a Sasquatch, but we've heard stories of them belly crawling very fast and efficiently and able to go up trees backwards, so I'm sure they could get right through here quickly. This is a beautiful little creek, which of course would be abundant in nutrients for predator and prey alike. There's buzzards flying ahead. I always wonder if it's for something dead around me or if they're waiting for me. Whew. Sticks in the eye, no problemo. Raccoons have been here. That little water pit is definitely an oasis. What a beautiful little section. See how there's a game path right there and one over there. And they all fight to get to the spot. But when they can coincide and coexist, it's when nature thrives. Sadly, humanity has interfered for so long. It has disrupted the balance of the natural way. But all we can do is start now to restore balance, promote growth, get us back to who we used to be. Keeping my eyes peeled for eastern diamondback, cottonmouth, copperhead. I just heard a woo. Got it recorded on 2 different devices. Who said Florida doesn't have waterfalls? Huh. What a cool creek. It just keeps winding and bending, raging and roaring. Multiple waterfalls too. I think that was a large locust. It's pretty cool. Another bedding area. As we can see, there's feces right here. Probably a few days old. A perfect spot. Here's some more fresh dong. And Sasquatch will eat feces of other animals and absorb the nutrients. Look at this. More feces on a tree stump. Rabbits, snakes, possum, raccoon, feral dog, and cat are all great nutrition for the skunk ape. I'm in rattlesnake territory right now, so I'm keeping my ears peeled for that rattle. But I'm also keeping my eyes open and on the horizon for anything that changes. I feel like the windy atmosphere and the chilly weather calls for a perfect equation for the wild man to be out, because the numbers of hikers and hunters is going to be a little down, so they will have a little bit more freedom to roam. It's crazy to think what all is out there. But when you watch movies like Underworld that talk about vampires and werewolf wars going back to the beginning of time, Troll Hunter, about how in Norway they have these giant creatures that are hundreds of feet tall. They have to use high powered lights to bring them down. And even just the story of Frankenstein, about mad scientists, doctors doing experiments. We've all heard about King Arthur battling the dog man, Marco Polo reporting seeing the werewolves, and even Adolf trying to start a wolfman army. I was always magnetically pulled towards these strange creatures of the night, because I feel like they brought me closer to myself. I watched Unsolved Mysteries as a kid. I read Goosebumps, and even wrote short, scary stories myself about acid men and green zorgs. That was a very strange whistle to my left. Some would think bird, but for me, it was powerful. There's a disturbance in the trail as well. We'll keep circling around, see if we can find out what that whistle came from. I'm gonna put that rock I found right there. Interested to see if it's still there next time. Game trails coming through to the water, of course. The water's above, the water's below. Why is the sky blue? Because there's water up in the heavens. Just heard a couple distant knocks too. Sounded like 2, but it could have been 3. It looked like a rib bone. A lot of deer tracks. Definitely recommend looking into Jacko, Zana, and the Ocheezy Pond Wild, man, guys. Brilliant stories. The Minerva Monster, the Mothman, the Mantis Man, the Ohio River Muck Mermaids, the Green Clawed Beast, and a lot more strange things have been along my path. After you watch Jurassic Park enough times, puddles, footprints. There's a boot. A lot of strange stuff in the swamp, but it's everywhere. The New York Giants, the Tennessee Titans, the Seattle Kraken, Seattle Supersonics, the Green Bay Blizzard, Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars. It's really cool seeing this overflow right here. Water always finds a way. After deep sea fishing in the Gulf, you get tested by giant waves, seasickness, dolphins stealing your fish. And the whispers from the sirens This land is torn and pulled by Hurricane Michael, but it prevails. After a fresh storm, keeping an eye in the mud, see if there's any answers. Or movement from the night before. There's a lot of bows and bends, but after Mother Nature's wrath, you don't know what's what. But I'm sure the ancient ones have their signature, and they probably love to play tricks on our mind between storm damage and sacred structure. Even just catching myself in my eyes on the side, you really never know what's gonna happen. It's one of my favorite. Call that the void. Beware the void cat, that is. The more people we can get boots on the ground, the more eyes we can have watching. We build a strong community, a little army of investigators, enthusiasts, researchers, and people that just want to push us forward. I think there should be more podcasts, more radio shows, more books written, more TikTok accounts. More data being analyzed at the end of the day. And some of it might be garbage, but sometimes you find that fossil in the rough. Very cool, very cool. You gotta think, these creatures can read us like a book. If you're open-minded and a nature enthusiast, your chances are higher. But if you're in it for the wrong reasons, the repercussions are not going to be shy. Large birds in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Susquehanna River is home to the seal, and also there's been horned giants excavated from that area. Lake Otsego is known for bull sharks. But the Bunyip type creature, the Montauk monster type creature still lurks. New York, Pennsylvania area. The Washington Wild Things, pro baseball team, might be alluding to the Bigfoot in the area, the Dogman, possibly even the werebear, the bear cat. Sounded like something slipped away into the water. I was hoping it'd be a snake and we could get our eyes on it. I appreciate everybody joining along on my journey. I have a Patreon now with exclusive content, chapters reading my books, 2-hour videos, and also some great skunk ape photos that I've taken. Have a PayPal if you want to support some gas or some food on the journeys. I have 4 books out: Eerie Swamps, Road Trip to Eden, Big Brother Bigfoot, Panhandle Pirates, and Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner. I'm in a Mothman documentary that's coming out soon. I'm gonna be part of the next Bigfoot Odyssey 168. I'm speaking at the Southwest Florida Skunk Ape Town Hall June 4th in Punta Gorda, alongside Stacy Brown, Dave Shealy, Robert Robinson, Marie DeMott, and a bunch of other legends. I know Mark Muncy, John Urban, 2 awesome Florida authors will be there. It's all about growing your spider web and expanding knowledge and awareness. And if we have fun telling the story, then heck, we're in the right place. I'm still keeping my eyes peeled on this mud for something that got lazy, but also randomly looking at the wood line, trying to surprise something. You gotta walk the balance in between predictable, so you're safe around them, but unpredictable, so you can maybe catch them peeking. They know I mean them no harm. I submit, I surrender. I'm here to learn from the great teachers. That looks like a sinkhole right over there. Maybe an old burial site. Monsters and creatures lurk in the night, but a little bit of our light can illuminate the darkest cavern or tunnel. We should watch The Cave, The Descent, 30 Days of Night, Interstellar, Inception, The Matrix, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, even Ice Age as documentaries to learn from. Middle Earth, the castles in the sky, heaven, the kingdom itself. It's amazing. Ocala, Myakka, Okeechobee, the Suwannee River, all abundant in sightings. So again, keep your eyes peeled for everything. Looks like it's just a dirt cloud. I thought it was feces at first, but they will use those dirt clods to usher you out of the forest. My brother BF Bud was hit in the chest by one about 4 times as big as that size. We think that it was interested in his wife Angie. Here's some discarded metal from the piping. Is there anything out there? Everything is a little bit more lively when you're not armed with a camera. That's the fine line we walk between evidence and experience. We want both. Something large has trampled through here, clearly. Looks like a stampede. Here's some strange mumbling to the left. Definitely weirdness in that area. More feces. You could hide underneath that perfectly in camouflage. I'm sure these creatures have an awesome system to push the deer, and then others are just waiting to snap their legs and eat. Not sure what that is. Not sure if it's tissue paper, it's been wet, or if it's something natural like a fungus. Again, it's just amazing being out here, sharing the vibes with the creator, with the forest, getting closer to the answers that I'm looking for. Every day we can get ourselves away from the static of the world is a win in my book. From the corner of Boston Road, BB Town, down to Lakeland, across America, Jackson, Mississippi, Pascagoula, Honey Island Swamp, New Orleans, Dallas, Texas, JFK location, Las Cruces, Phoenix, Tucson, El Paso, Los Angeles, Koreatown, San Bernardino. They all taught me a little bit of this lesson. I took a piece of them with me to represent. So from Bowling Green, Falcon up, to Cleveland, to my old barber shop in North Royalton, the hills I used to sled ride in Strongsville, all the different baseball fields I've played across Ohio, Cincinnati, Louisville, Columbus. They've all left me with the vibes I've needed to carry on this path. Haunted amusement parks like Kings Island, the Beast, the Son of the Beast, Cedar Point, the Raptor, Millennium Force, Top Thrill Dragster, record-breaking speeds, Daredevils, True Fear, Scariness, Heights, Battling, going fishing where I'm not supposed to, sneaking on the golf courses, trespassing, breaking and entering, being robbed, being jumped, being knocked down, still coming back, being broke, being hungry, almost having to steal to survive, but luckily held on and was rewarded. I'm no saint, I'm no angel. I've car hopped, I've nailed cars with icy snowballs, I've banged on walls and doors in the middle of the night. But it's all lessons learned, bridges burned. And greetings from the other side. All my hikes with Uncle John and Peepaw, Zach and Nicole, Billy and Nicole, Matt and Kaylee, Bart and Pam. The nights I stayed at my dad's fire station, rode around in the engine, seeing their faces after someone didn't make it, sneaking into Ohio State football games, underage drinking in fine establishments, and of course burning the ganj where they tell us not to. Sometimes you gotta break the rules for enlightenment. Sometimes you have to be who you want to be. Your needs will be met in abundance. Your questions will be answered, but you'll just be left with more pondering. That's what life is about, having that freedom to think, to question, to challenge authority, establishment, ourselves. That's what it is. I appreciate all you guys being here with me this afternoon. Keep in touch, spread your wings, because this world is a small place when you burst your own bubble of comfort.
Nightcrawler out. I am not your enemy. I am your friend.
The flesh of the unguided and non-believers fuel this void.
Okay, Connor, we found Bigfoot. His taxidermy head. They said this is actually a deer's butt. You can see the tail that runs down, and then they just put a face into it. It's pretty cool.
Moonfall was off the hook. It is pretty much the real Matrix 4 that we all wanted. Combination of aliens, space travel, AI gone wrong. It was truly something. It was a wild ride that was pretty much brainless, but also very psychedelic and magical. It was all conspiracy theories coming to life in one. What a magical time. And we're headed to Georgia Guidestones. This has been on my bucket list for so long, and we spent all morning getting here. What a wild journey. But yeah, there's 10 commandments written in 8 different languages, supposed to guide us to a positive world. But some people think there's a dark conspiracy to it. It says to put human population down to 500 million. We're at about 7 billion right now. Do the math. What a magnetic place. It pulled me here from a long time ago. Think it, believe it, achieve it. We made this happen. Manifested it in our mind. Hey. She loves this boat. Yeah.